If you're looking for a PC build under $700 that's actually excellent for 1080p gaming, you came to the right video. I know that picking the right components might be a little bit overwhelming at first, and that's why I'm here to help you. And I also have my video about the best Prebuilt PCs of the month that I do recommend you watching in the top right of the screen in case you want to buy a Prebuilt PC, because I know there are some scams out there for Prebuilt PCs, so you want to have a good performing PC without having to overspend your money, and that's why I recommend you watching that video if you're interested on buying a Prebuilt PC. Without further ado, let's start with this one. For the CPU, I went with the i3-12100F. I think it's the budget king for CPUs right now, and it has no competition at all from AMD at this price point. $106, you can't beat it for the price, and it's going to perform excellent. However, if you want something for content creation and for streaming, stay on this video until the end, because I will explain to you on how to make this PC a little bit more expensive, but it's going to perform much better, so stay until the end. Then for the motherboard, I went with the MSI Pro B660M Micro ATX motherboard. Then for the memory kit, I went with the Silicon Power 16 gigs of RAM 2x8 at 3200 MHz CL16 memory. This is all that we are going to need for gaming for $47. It has no RGB, but feel free to upgrade this kit to an RGB one, but keep in mind that you're going to spend around $20 extra. Then for the storage, I picked the Crucial P2 500GB M.2 SSD, and depending on the games that you play, this will be enough or maybe not. That's why I do recommend you going with 1TB if you can afford it, but if you can't, 500 gigs, it's a nice starting point, and you can always upgrade this later on without any issue. Then for the GPU or the graphics card, and the most important part of a PC build, we have the MSI Radeon RX 6600 XT. This is definitely the best GPU out there for 1080p at this price point. Now, if you really need more storage and you want to keep the price below 700, you can downgrade the GPU to the 6600 and then upgrade the storage, but I do recommend you keeping the 6600 XT and upgrading the storage down the line, because if you want to upgrade from the 6600 to the 6600 XT, it's going to be much more expensive than upgrading just the storage. For 1080p, you won't have an issue with any game out there on the market right now, not even AAA titles, but if you want to do stream and content creation, I do recommend you upgrading some components that I will mention in a minute. Then for the case, I picked the Camdias M2 Lite Micro ATX mid-tower case. I'm pretty sure this one is the one that Skytech used for some of the mini Prebuilt PCs that they have, although I'm not 100% sure. However, you have that front mesh panel, 3 fans installed, 2 RGB fans in the front, and a non-RGB exhaust fan for $65. It's a great price, and it's going to have an excellent airflow for the type of components that you have. I decided to keep the stock CPU cooler because the i3-12100F really doesn't need an aftermarket CPU cooler, so with the stock one, temps are going to be great. And last but not least, the power supply, I picked the EBGA W1 600W 80+ certified ATX power supply. Now, if you want more room for upgradability, you're looking to spend 15 extra bucks for an EBGA 700W 80+ bronze power supply, especially if you're going to upgrade a bunch of stuff later on. Now, there's no game that you cannot run with this PC at 1080p resolution, and it's going to be excellent if your budget is under $700. But if you have some extra money to spend, the first thing that I recommend you upgrading is the CPU to the Ryzen 5 5600, and the reason on why I picked AMD over Intel is because the GPU is from AMD, and if you get an all AMD platform, you will get the AMD Smart Access RAM technology, which is going to help you to boost your FPS while gaming, and on top of that, the 5600 it's a great CPU for streaming, but also content creation. So if you want to do some streaming, productivity work, and also have more FPS while gaming, especially on those high CPU demanding video games, the Ryzen 5 5600 I think it's the best choice if you're going with a Ryzen GPU as well. Then of course you have to change the motherboard, so I picked the Gigabyte B550M Micro ATX. The total price if you do the CPU upgrade is going to be $766, but you will boost your performance not only for gaming but also for other tasks, and that's why I recommend you doing this upgrade. And then if you have some extra money for under $800, actually $796, I recommend you upgrading the storage to 1TB of M.2 NVMe SSD. I recommend the Western Digital Green SN350, super fast for gaming, and you definitely don't need a Gen 4 SSD. So by doing these two upgrades, you gain performance for gaming and other tasks, but you also gain storage to put your favorite games, or maybe if you do video editing, files are probably going to be big and you will need more storage than 500 gigs. I hope this video was helpful. If you found it like that, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section and I will try to reply as fast as possible. Thank you always for the support. We are really close to 10k, so stay tuned because I'm going to do something for you guys.